Hey again, this is Edward from Mega Money Making Methods doing another case study of the week. This one is actually going to be over, I don't really know what to call it, like alphabet, spelling out messages with unorthodox materials, or I'm probably just going to be like alphabet messages or something, you know. And I'll give you an example here. I will write your name or text on Easter eggs for $5. And this seller, who's a level 2 seller, is doing a pretty decent job at it. They have so far 15 positive feedback, and pretty much everybody likes what they're doing. Fantastic job, really cool idea. And it's really a great idea because when you think about it, like what is the cost of materials here? It's the cost of eggs and the cost of paint if you want to do it yourself. But I have seen at like different hobby and art stores like pre-made forms of this, like wooden eggs and stuff like that that have like lettering and whatnot on it. So if you aren't particularly artistic and don't want to do this, although the closer we look, it's you could do this. But even if you don't want to, there are pre-made supplies that have this. And I'll give another example over here. Let's see. I will speed write your message or logo with clothes for $5. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, so let me see. Pretty much what she's doing is she's using clothes to spell out messages, and we'll play a short little. No, that's a close up of her, but it's from Anto 23. But pretty much they're making a message spelling it out from clothes, and I'll play a short little thing from her video. Hopefully. Okay, you get the idea. Pretty much what she's doing is she's just using various clothes and whatnot to make the message. Now, I'm pretty sure if you're listening to this message, this case study right now, you have clothes of some sort, you know. So I'm pretty sure you could do this. And she has 17 positive reviews for doing this. So it's a good little moneymaker over here. You know. Let me scroll back up here. Yeah. And one final one before I get to really the best example of this sort of thing I could possibly give you is from Island Art. I will write your message in the sand on the beach for $5. So how simple is that? If you live on the beach, you know, you just go outside, you write the message, like in this example, Happy Valentine's Day, I love you, and all that stuff. Literally, they're just going outside and they're just using the environment that they have to their advantage and making money off of it. The applications of this one are actually pretty large. Let's say you don't live at the beach. Live in you live in Washington, and there's a lot of snow or whatnot going on. Or Colorado would be a better example of this. You could go outside and you could make write messages in the snow. You live in the desert, you could use the same sand, but instead you just write messages in the desert sand. Just think about it. It's pretty much just using your environment to your advantage. That's a great idea, I think. You know, and let's look down here. See, 33 people thought it was a great idea, and so that's a great example. Now to get down to what I consider to be the best case study on this in this niche that I've really seen at all. It's from a user named Madmoo. You know, I will make a fortune cookie, fortune smile on you with your own fortune cookie message, and use a greeting on Mother's Day, birthday to advertise anything for $5. And the reason I say this is seriously, you know, this is, they say, she has 121 positive feedback, which doesn't sound like much, but wait until you see her other gigs that I'm really just about to show you, and I'll go through them real quick. She has the fortune cookie one. She has the I will make unique messages with natural colored stones, which has 57 positive. She has I will write your message and your choice of an alphabet spaghetti on toast, photograph it, and email you it to make that title a wee bit shorter. She has 349 for that one. And then the next one, and really the final one I'm going to show you from her, is I will write a short message in front of a cup of cappuccino, for $5. And she has 1,087 for this one. I actually did some math based on all of her gigs and whatnot, and if people only bought, this, and not talking about her upsells or anything, and she has quite a few upsells. She at the very minimum has brought home about $8,500 from these gigs, because and the cost of materials is small. Think about it. Like the way that she does this cappuccino, I should say, the way Mad Moo does this cappuccino one, is literally she has a stencil and she sprinkles cinnamon on top, and the froth of the cappuccino is what holds it into place. And if you have a cappuccino machine, pretty much your cost is the cost of coffee and the cost of the stencil and the cinnamon, which is like under $1. I'll take consider. And if there was a trade, I'll pay you $1 and you give me three. I would make that trade all day. That's a great way to do it. And think about the time that she spends on this. This is the hardest of the ones that she does. And this might take her maybe 5, maybe 10 minutes, because once you get it down, it's pretty clear, a pretty quick way to do it. And most people don't have this many letters, And this is more for advertising purposes. Let's scroll down and look. Let's look at this one. Let's see, work, and see that's just 8 letters there. How hard would it be to do those 8 letters? See, same rules apply. It's a little bit more now, but you get the point. It's I can't say it's super easy because I haven't actually tried this, but I can say that the other gigs that I've come across are actually a little bit on the easier side. Literally, like with this alphabet soup on toast, it's just find the right letters in a cheap can of alphabet soup and put it on some toast, and there you go. I mean, same thing with this one over here. She has rocks that have specific letters on it, and she'll spell out the letters for you. Yeah. Like, let's see it as an example, exclusively on Fiverr. See? It's so simple, and it's crazy how well she's doing with this. And I think you could do equally as well if you really applied yourself and really looked for unique and distinctive methods of, like, giving your customers their message and putting it in an unorthodox way. And I'll go back to some of the other examples that aren't Mad Moo, to really, really drive this point home. While you might not be able to, crank it to the same extent that Mad Moo has, you can expect like results in this area, like 10, 33, like look over here. Yeah, 15 positive response. If I said if you went out and got $3, $4 worth of supplies, and then you could take home $100, $200 worth of profit just for doing that, that would be great, don't you think? Yeah, I think so anyway. And over the long term, like the better you do, like if you are trying to base your stuff along like what Mad Moo is doing, she's been doing it for the last 2 years. So if you were to invest in this kind of thing over the long term, you could seriously start raking in the money, because there is not this field is not going to dry up. People are always looking for unorthodox ways to kind of present their message and put it in front of customers, and this is exactly what that they're going to be doing. And I haven't really spent any time talking about the upsells, but the upsells are beautiful. put a message over a certain link, charge extra $5, do it in a certain shape, charge an extra $5. I'll get it back to you super quick, an extra $5, and that applies to almost all of these gigs. You know, you're pretty much, it's not any extra time to do that. Because if you're already gonna lay out the rocks and like or whatever in a straight line, how much more effort is it for you to do it in a certain pattern? You know, see? Straight lines, different patterns. It's crazy. You're doing it. It's pretty much you're charging people more money to do something that's absolutely no extra effort. And even when you look at the upsells, it requires no additional time. Literally because there's no additional time and maybe a moderate amount of extra effort. But I would just have to say no. It's really not that much at all. And you could literally do that with everything. Regardless of what you're doing. Doing it in a specific pattern, charge more. Like if you were doing this egg gig as an example, I'll put the eggs in a certain pattern if you order over a certain amount. You know, and charge them $5 to $10 extra to do that if you have the capability and you're that level of a seller. That's, in my opinion, that's great. But I think I've made this thing go on for too long, and I think I'm gonna wrap it up for now. But you get the power of this, and I think it's really cool, and it's seriously underutilized because I did a search on Fiverr, and not that many people are doing it. But the people who are doing it are certainly making some money. So, take this, get started, apply it, and knock it out of the park. And I'll talk with you soon. Bye.